Hi, welcome back. I'm Ashley. Today's video, we're gonna get into my first workshop class. Let's get into it. As you know by the description and by the title, I started my first week in my workshop. Now this is a business type of workshop. I'll give you like a little brief of how I even got the opportunity to be a part of this. And sorry if I'm stretching and everything. I've been sitting down for 3 hours for this first workshop. But okay, so I went to an event, a festival in my hometown, and at that festival there was a person who I knew from school, like high school, and I knew her sister, I knew her mom, because it's a small town and we all went to the same schools. She ended up coming by my booth and just letting me know that she was the economic development blah 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 in our hometown, and that asked me, tried to tell me what her title could offer small businesses. And because I no longer live in my hometown, she told me the person who does the same type of work that she does in my town. I contacted that person. That person then referred me to a local university who helps small businesses, whether it's grants, whether it's education. So I reached out to them, just kind of told them whatever help that they can provide me, whether it's grants, whether it's just education. I'm just kind of open to whatever, as this is my first. And they just basically let me know, hey, I think you'd be good for this course that we have. It's a free workshop. And it's an 8-week workshop. It's 1 day a week for 3 hours in the evening. And they just gave me a brief overview. Each week would be a different topic. I was like, sure, I'd love to. Any advice that you can give would be great. So here I am. This happened in December, so I knew that it was going to be starting in January and would last till middle of February or so. So let's kind of get started with what I learned. I'm going to try not to make this video too long. I did take notes during it. I was having some internet issues, part of living in the country and living in a rural area, but I was able to grasp a lot of concepts, and I'm excited for y'all to hear everything, and hopefully y'all can apply some of this to your business, or maybe you will learn something new. Maybe this will help solidify something that you were thinking, or whatever it is. So this course or workshop is only, as far as I know, the one that I'm in is only available to people who live in Southern or Southside Virginia. So that's pretty great for me, because from state to state, small businesses are run differently. Vendor-based businesses are run differently, and everything like that. And even in Virginia, the way that businesses or small businesses are run in Northern Virginia is completely different than the way they're run in Southern Virginia. Northern Virginia may, for example, you may be able to make $1,000 every single vendor event. That's just an example. Whereas in Southern Virginia, maybe once, maybe twice a year, or maybe not at all during the year. So, and that's just because of population and other factors like that. So what I'm trying to get at is I'm really excited to be able to meet with some local businesses, vendors, whatever, that are in the rural part, Southern Virginia, and see what they have to say about their businesses and struggles. And we all come from, it seems like in the program so far, everybody comes from different types of business backgrounds, variations in how long they've been open, whether this is their first business, second business, third business. It seems like it's going to be a really good event. And as y'all know from my from my previous videos, if you've been with me from the beginning, that I get a lot of inspiration and knowledge from people letting me know about their experiences in small businesses. So not just soap makers like myself, but people who do scrunchies, people who do vinyl or candles or whatever it may be. I get inspiration and can learn something from any type of business. So basically this first session was just an orientation where we get to kind of know each other. We kind of get to know the program in which we'll be using, which is, I believe, is CoStar, and logging into the platform and where it will show us our assignments. I have it up currently. It's a boot camp, and it's called Co-Starters, and it's a boot camp, and it looks just like kind of like reminds me of like Blackboard. I'm not sure if y'all know what Blackboard is, but it's like a college thing as far as I know. And it reminds me of that, where it has like the dashboard icon, it has the courses icon, it has the calendar icon, it has the inbox icon. It just reminds me of college vibes. And I've been in college for 8 years. I don't want a reminder of college vibes, but that's what it gives me. And you get points for each assignment that you do. So it's really giving me college vibes right now. Oh man. So we have homework due on certain Tuesdays. And of course, so for example, and I'm already behind, y'all, because the first homework assignment is to do the pre-program survey, which is due actually tonight. So I'm kind of early, I guess. After I film this video, I'm gonna go do my pre-program survey, and then the second assignment isn't due until the 15th. Whew. So that's kind of the layout so far, as far as the platform. There's different instructors, and all of these, it seems like instructors are from the university, so like they teach at the university, and then some are just people who have been in the community that have different aspects to bring to the table when it comes to running a business, whether it's the financial aspect or retail aspect or whatever it may be. So a lot of guest speakers, which I'm excited about, because for me, I want to learn about all aspects, and I'll get into that further in the video. So one of the questions that the speaker for today asked was, and this is maybe something that you can ask yourself, and I'll chime in a little bit about my answers to these questions, but something to get you thinking. What is the desire behind you wanting to do this program? So that's something that he asked us, is what is motivating us to do this program. So for you, it may be what's motivating you to do your business, what's motivating you to hop on YouTube and watch my channel to learn about business and small businesses and my business. What's motivating you to go on other YouTube channels and research, people who are running their small businesses and whatever it may be. Maybe you're doing a workshop as well, and maybe you're interested in doing a workshop. So what is your motivation for wanting to do that? The second one is, what is your hope for the program or workshop? Or what is your hope from watching this YouTube video? What is your hope from watching other people's YouTube videos who have small businesses that kind of take you through the day in their life as a small business owner, or taking you with them to vendor events or festivals or whatever it may be? How can you support others? How do you want to be supported when it comes to your business? So I'm gonna answer these pretty briefly. So what's desired? What was the desire for me to want to do this program? And that was just knowledge, just more and more knowledge. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTubers that do similar stuff as well as different stuff than I do, and I gain a lot of knowledge from them. However, in running a business, I don't feel like I can get enough knowledge. So just continuously trying to gain knowledge was key for me. that maybe I can apply some of that knowledge to my business that can take me to a whole nother level, something that I've never thought about before, maybe something that I've never heard about before. My hope for the program is just to get something out of it. I don't really have too many high expectations for this program, just to get something out of it. And also something that I just remembered is that this program is free. So I didn't have to pay for it or anything like that. It's grant funded, which is great. How can I support others? I can support others, and I feel like I do support others by liking them, sharing their information on social media. I do that for a lot of local businesses, small businesses are surrounding my town. I like and share their posts. I am always commenting. I'm always reaching out when we do events together, when we happen to be at the same events, festivals, or markets together, always showing that support and love. I think that is a huge support when we talk about small businesses. You don't have to always purchase, and I post this all the time on my Facebook page. You don't always have to purchase from them. You can support them in other ways, liking, sharing, commenting on their posts, letting people know about that business, because even though that business, you may not want to purchase from that business. Maybe somebody else in your family does, maybe a friend does, maybe a coworker does. So just spreading that word is how I can support others. And how I want to be supported is the same exact way. Share, like, comment, purchase if you want to. Go check out my YouTube channel. Go check out and like and follow me on Facebook or whatever. Just those little small things that people think are small are super crucial to us small business owners, or at least for myself, that is crucial in showing me support. So then the conversation kind of shifted to talking about what type of business do I run? Why am I running this business? Where am I running this business from? I'm sorry, my nose is itching. So I basically, said that I run a self-care and bubbles business. And that's kind of how I phrase it. Why I run this business is to bring light to self-care in a different form. I think I bring a unique way of looking at self-care. And I run my business out of my home in my studio. So then it shifted to goals. So what are your goals for your business? And somewhere in the midst of this conversation, we started talking about SMART goals and just being able to identify what goals we want in our business, because that will help drive us. So here's some pointers that I kind of got away from it. So whether you want to be international or whether you want to be local, whether you want to be in stores or whether you just want to be online, whether you want to only make in-person sales or whether you only want to make online sales, whether you want to open up a shop, whether you want to do more of wholesale, the length of time in which you want to be able to obtain those goals. So whether it's to do your side business as a full-time business one day and putting a time limit on that, whether you always want to keep this as a side business, is if that's your goal, whether income plays a part in your goals or not, if you want to make a certain amount of money, if you want to do a certain amount of events per year, whatever your goals are. And you can go back to my 2023 goals video to learn about my goals. But just some things that I had jotted down, I'll kind of tell you, is to work full time in my business. That's a goal for me, is to be able to do soap making and YouTube and content around my business is a goal of mine. To have various streams of income when it comes to my business. So not just YouTube, but definitely YouTube, my online presence, my Etsy shop, my Shopify shop, also doing in-person sales. So my markets, my festivals, my events, as well as some wholesale customers in Virginia. So having a few businesses be willing to have my products in their store. So different streams of income, not just focusing on my online sales or not just focusing on my in-person sales, but really YouTube and 2 different shops that I have online and having some wholesale. So as well as anything that has to do with my business. So just really diversifying my income streams around my business. And all of these income streams revolve around me working for myself full time. Making this a reality, being able to make that step into full-time business owner, creating my own schedule and everything that comes along with that, the good and the bad. Putting a time limit. So within 2 years, I want to be able to work full time. So leave potentially my full time and potentially my part time and the other works that I do for another company, and doing this full time. And what I mean by this is the online shops and doing that full time, making products full time, YouTube full time, markets, festivals, and events full time are my focus and my goal for within 2 years. Why 2 years? 2 years, 2 to 3 years, but why that goal? I want to be able to have this accomplished before my daughter starts school. That's really important to me, to be able to work from home, work for myself as she enters school years, so that I can make my own schedule and everything around being a mom. I want to be, I don't foresee my goals being international. I foresee my goal when it comes to my business being United States based, or North America based, but definitely Virginia based. I would love stores to have my products in them in Virginia, events in Virginia to know me or at least know my brand. That's my focus. So continuing on, one of the speakers had chimed in and said something that's really important. And this is something that I had thought about, and I'll tell you like a little story that kind of goes along with this. So she said, you are the brand. She said, be cautious what you post on social media. And of course you can broaden that, just be cautious what you say, be cautious what you do, because you are your brand, especially when you're just starting out. You are your brand. And even as a small business owner, you are your brand. So just keeping that in mind. So to apply that to me, yesterday, so I've been trying to really get into the reels and the shorts, as y'all see on my YouTube channel. I've been getting into the shorts, and on Facebook I do the reels, and I typically use the same type of music throughout my reels and my shorts and my YouTube videos, and that's because I love the music. It's very calming, it's very soothing, and it's just very much just chill music. However, this time I decided on, I believe it was my reel or my short, I'm not sure which one. I decided to try different type of music. And so I know this artist very well, and she can be on the risque, provocative type of side. However, the reason why I picked that song is because I was looking for a work related song. So like a boss, but I'm a working boss type of vibe. And so she had her song. So her song title was Workin' Bitch. And I was like, okay, it's a little, provocative. Just the title was provocative, but I was like, that's kind of what I'm trying to go for, is like, my thoughts were to do like Rihanna's work song. But I could not find it, because on these reels and shorts, I feel like it limits you on what type of music you can put in. Like it's already like pre-programmed, and maybe it's not, but like I'm still new at it. And so when I hit like the view all, it gives me a certain selection. I have to pick from that certain selection. So it was hard to find what I wanted. So I created the reel or the story, whichever one I did, with that Work Bitch song. Mind you, I did not listen to the entire song. I just listened to like the first few seconds of it. And I was like, okay, like that's really about women empowerment or just working empowerment, being a boss, being an owner, whatever. And so after I had sent it, so I had posted it, I believe, on, so it must have been a short. I posted it on YouTube, sent the short to a friend of mine and my family so that they could see it because they are not up to date on YouTube or always on YouTube. So I sent it to them for them to listen to and see the short. And so I go back, of course, and listen to it. And I'm like, hold on now. Of course, I had listened to like the first few seconds. And so then I listened to a little bit more. And I was like, okay. It is provocative. It's going left. It is, oh my gosh. So I completely take it off before it even got any views on YouTube. I took it off, told my family, disregard that. I redid the short with another song, listened to that song, then posted it and sent it out to family and my friend. I was like, whew, because sometimes with these shorts, I've noticed that I could get up to 4,000 views on some of my shorts. And so in like 30 minutes. And so I was very grateful that I, like, within a few minutes, I was able to take it down, redo it, and post it. And of course, now I believe it had like 300 views, 400 views in 30 minutes. So I'm like, whew, okay, that was a close call because that's not the type of image or brand that I want to associate with me. Like, I don't want the cursing and the derogatory, and even though she is a very empowering woman and she's a very much owns her stuff. I'm a boss and I'm confident in my sexuality. I'm confident in who I am, which is great. And that's why I love her. And I will, of course, listen to her in my personal life. But as far as professional, me capturing products and having a song in the background of those products, I don't really want certain words being said in those shorts or reels. So that's just a little side note to kind of show how this all applies to me still to this day, that I am my brand. And some people would say that I am even more my brand because my name is in my brand. It's in my business name. Okay, so this is probably gonna be a long video, but hang in there with me. I watch Caitlin Blue, and as y'all know, I'm a big fan of her. She's a YouTuber, a business owner who left her full-time job and is now doing her business full-time called Fiorella Sobering. And she talked about naming. She has a video called Naming Your Brand or Naming Your Business. And she said it's a lot of pressure when you name your business after yourself. And that's the type of pressure she did not want, which is why she didn't name her business after herself. And this is, of course, I've had this name for my business. So this is before knowing that what comes along with, having your business named after you, the pressure it can be. And whether my business is named after me or named after something else that I came up with, I still wouldn't want certain things being associated with me or my brand. I don't want music or certain things to take away from what I'm trying to portray. When I'm doing reels and when I'm doing shorts, I'm trying to showcase my product. I'm trying to showcase what information it is that I'm trying to convey. I don't want certain derogatory words to be the talk of my short or my reel. I want what I say, what I'm showcasing, to be the talk of my reel or my short. So that's just a little backstory. So we're going to continue. The question was posed about bringing a team into your business. So it's important to consult with your team if you have a team. Now, team, the way I look at it, could be your support system when it comes to your business. It could be business partners. It could be whatever it is. It could be your lawyer, your attorney, whatever. Family, whoever it is that you trust. It's important to think of the balance of your team or consult with an expert for your business. And another part of that question that was posed is, what do you look for in an expert, in a team? And some people commented trust and loyalty, and then that branched off to, should you have your family as a direct team member in your business? And furthermore, should you hire your family? So comment below some of your questions, maybe some of your answers or questions to some of this information. But I definitely wrote down trust. I definitely wrote down loyalty, because I feel like that is huge when it comes to experts that I'm consulting with or talking with when it comes to my business, even down to family. Many times in my business so far have, like I just said before, when it comes to shorts and reels and products, I send pictures to my family, not necessarily before I post them, but I'll send it to them just to get their feedback, because I trust them and they are loyal. With experts, it takes time. You look at their reviews, whether it's an attorney, whether it's an accountant, you look at their reviews and determine whether they, should be trusted, and with time that may come as well. So I definitely feel like it could be good to consult with family if that family is supportive of your business. A lot of people talk about their family is not supportive of their business, and maybe you don't want to consult with them. But if your family over time becomes supportive of your business, or from the beginning they are supportive, that would be a good person potentially for you to have as your team member. They don't have to own your business or be involved in your business. Besides the fact that they just give you advice, whether you send them photos and say, hey, do you like this photo the way it is? Or do you think I should add more props? Or, hey, what do you think about my table setup? Whatever it may be, in whatever capacity you want it to be in. It was just a conversation kind of starter, something to kind of get you thinking. And some people have had some really horror stories working with family, which makes them leery about hiring people in the future, or hiring anybody in the future. Because the I'm trying to figure out the word. So what the lady in the course had said was, if I can't even depend on my family, she was talking mainly about her husband and her brother. If I can't even depend on them two people who are the closest to me, what makes me think that I can hire and trust a complete stranger? And that really, is a good question. I don't foresee myself in my business hiring anybody. I really want to be, running my business on my own by myself, as far as making the products and all of that. I obviously know that I need accountants and lawyers and things like that as time goes on. But as far as the day-to-day making, manufacturing my products, that type of stuff I want to continue to do for as long as I possibly can. Especially if it gets to the point where it's where I feel like I may need to hire somebody, or I'm that busy, then that's a good tell sign for me to know that I need to transition out of my other job obligations and work on my job full time, because obviously my business is booming enough to where I need to focus on that, and I'm bringing it, obviously, in at that point I'm bringing in enough money to be able to do that. The Instructor kind of goes into obstacles, which is super important. What obstacles might you encounter as you run your business? And comment below what obstacles you have run into, you think you're going to run into. My nose is itching. In the comments below. So some obstacles, I jotted down a few as we were in the workshop. I'm not sure the technical name. I've heard some YouTubers talk about this. It's, I believe, or I'm gonna call it shiny item or syndrome or whatever it's called. Whatever it's called, it's where you see a product or see somebody else make a product and you're like, oh, I can make that. Oh, I want to make that too. And then you find yourself making so much, whether it's, whether you are a soap maker and you do body butters and, whatever it is, but you see somebody over there doing scrunchies, and you see somebody over there doing candles, and you see somebody over there doing this and that, and you're like, oh, I want to do that. Let me go buy up all this equipment. Oh, let me go over here and buy up everything I need for scrunchies, which has absolutely, you don't already have these ingredients or products. You don't already have the equipment to do these things. You're going outside of your, what you're already doing and purchasing more stuff to do, versus if you're trying to do whipped body soap and bar soaps, sometimes the ingredients overlap. If you're doing bath bombs and bath salts, the ingredients overlap, so it's not so much of a difference, versus if you're doing lip balms and bath bombs and bar soaps, then you move over here to doing scrunchies. That's a whole nother set of products that you need, whether it's sewing machine, whether it's fabric, whether it's whatever. There's a whole nother, set of cost. So that's something that I absolutely struggled with at the beginning, and continue to kind of struggle with, is wanting to do everything, instead of focusing on what I'm currently doing and just being, content with that. Burnout can go hand in hand with that. What I was really going for when I put burnout is that sometimes when you are doing a small business, you may not see the results that you want. And you can, push yourself to research, and you may feel like you are spending so much time running or trying to keep up with your business, along with working other jobs and having other obligations as being a parent or a spouse or whatever it may be. It can be a lot. And you may find a lot of your time when you're off of your full-time job or your part-time and full-time job, that you're spending all your extra time running your business. And so it's really no downtime for you because you're constantly working, versus if you were doing your business full-time, you'd be able to potentially carve out some time, whether it's weekends, and say, okay, I'm not going to work weekends, but I'll work Monday through Friday with my business. Or I'm only going to work from this time to this time during the weekday, so I have the evenings with my family. It can become a lot at the beginning until you're able to run your business full time, if that's your goal. Trying to juggle all of these different tasks. Time, that can become an obstacle because, where do you find the time to run your full, run your business as a business versus as a hobby? That's definitely a big proponent. Are you staying up extra late at night to be able to do this? Are you getting up extra early in the morning? Are you taking days off from work to be able to find time to make bars of soap or candles or scrunchies? Where are you finding the time to get this done? Or are you finding the time to get this done? Defeating thoughts, that's another obstacle, For people in my business, soap making, I know that January, February, and March are our downtime. This is times where business could be very slow, and usually is very slow. And that can be a very defeating time. That can be a very challenging time, especially starting out in a small business. Especially if you start a business in January doing this work, you may not see any type of movement until April. So, trying to, what we call in therapy is challenge those defeating thoughts of, I'm not going to listen to that or whatever it may be. Challenging those defeating thoughts and, being encouraging to yourself, because you don't want to get to a place where you are so defeating yourself to where you give up or you lose interest. Continue to fight through it. And another huge one is the financial obstacle. Some people cannot afford to start up a business, continue a business, let alone find the money to be able to keep up with different things, whether it's ingredients or buying in bulk or whatever it may be. So that's definitely something to think about, and definitely something that I thought about. For the sake of this video, time, something, exercise that he had us do, and I'll end there. Exercise that he wanted us to do is to look at different categories in our lives and see how many hours of the day are we spending doing that category, whether it's eating, sleeping, working, showering, exercising, riding/driving, studying, preparing meals, watching TV / reading, or whether it's praying/meditation. How many hours out of the day are we spending doing this? And does it equal up to 24 hours or does it equal up to more than 24 hours? So are we running out of time within the day to be able to fulfill all of these things that may or may not be important to us? And that is definitely something to think about, right? One last thing, another tip that they gave was to make sure that we have separate bank accounts for our personal and our business. And that's just to be able to keep up with our expenses, keep up with whether we're making a profit or not. And if we are running this like a business versus a hobby, over time, if this becomes our full-time business and we need to start doing taxes, or even before if this becomes our full-time job, if we need to start doing taxes, we're able to show what our work-related expenses versus what our personal expense is, and being able to distinguish what is a work-related expense or a business expense versus what is a personal expense, not just according to us, but what's according to tax people and what they say. So sorry for the long video, but I really want to do this every week where I talk about the topics that I learned in in this workshop, because every week will be a different topic. I hope y'all found this useful. I know I found this week's topic very, very useful. Even though this was just the introductory or orientation, we still talked about a lot of good information, and it just kind of confirmed to me that I'm moving in the right direction, because a lot of this stuff that we talked about I am implementing, or I have already implemented into my business through research and watching different YouTubers and all of that. So thank y'all. If y'all liked videos like this, and you like this video and you want to continue to see more, please subscribe, so that when I post every week this type of content, you're able to see it. And thank y'all. Hope y'all have a good night. Bye.